What's up, Seattle? I'm Tyrah Majors. Welcome back to another show of Sound On. Today, we have a lot on tap. One, Republicans in the governor's race. Will they finally get their shot after so long? Also, Swifties. Taylor Swift in town this week. We're going to be talking about the big economic boom she's expected to bring and also the new record she just set. Lastly, we've got the oldest woman to summit Mount Rainier, the record she just broke after 21 years. We'll have those details next.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We are on week number 9.
Week 9 of Sound On. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, and one of the big topics that we're talking about this week is the election. You might have gotten your ballot in the mail for next month's primary, which is on August 1st. But a lot of people are looking ahead to 2024. We got the governor's race, presidential election, a lot of state officials that are going to be elected. But that governor's race is really starting to heat up.
It is. Lots of people weighing in on former congressman and former King County Sheriff Dave Reichert announcing his run for governor.
Yeah.
A lot of people have mixed feelings about this. Some excited, some not so excited.
Yeah, of course, a lot of people are saying that the state needs a change. Governor Jay Inslee announcing that he's not going to be running for another term, and that's really giving this wide open race. And a lot of people have strong opinions about Reichert.
For sure. Let's take a look at what some people are saying on our Facebook page. Brian Lipsy says, an excellent candidate. Nathalie Richardson says, I hope he wins. We have a lot of hallelujahs, and then someone else at a time for a much needed change in Washington.
The one that kind of I zeroed in on here is this post from A. Christine Holm, I think is how you pronounce her last name, who says, another male who thinks he has any kind of say in women's health care. No doubt that's alluding to the abortion issue, which is obviously a very hot topic issue here in Washington State. And there's been a lot of chatter on whether or not Reichert can win in a state that overwhelmingly wants to see a woman's right to choose and to see that continue. So here's what Reichert told our KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels about that very issue.
So should a woman have the right to make a decision about her own body?
My personal belief is, and it's never changed, it's all through my sheriff's years and through Congress, has been I'm pro-life.
Yeah, you can see. So there's a lot of divided opinions about this. Democrats already have a number of candidates lined up with the Attorney General Bob Ferguson, State Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz, among several others. So I think this is going to be a really interesting race.
It will be. And you know what will make it more interesting? If Steve were to jump in there. Steve, I feel like you personify leadership. You seem kind of like an official, someone who can make change. Would you ever run for political office?
No, I would never do that. I did in high school and junior high, and we're just going to keep it at that.
What'd you run for in high school?
So many things. Senator, ASB secretary or something, I don't remember. My track record in terms of elections during school was not very good.
But see what I mean? The fact that you went for it.
Yes. Did
you?
You?
Out for those votes. No, I was never into running for ASB or, I ran for cheer captain my senior year and I got co-captain.
Nice.
And I was also nominated for prom queen. I didn't win though, but that's okay.
I got a crown.
Ooh, okay. Prom king?
Yes.
You were prom king.
Yes, class of 2000.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I said, Steve, that would make it interesting if you were to jump in
I
one
got
of
that
those.
honor. Yeah, but I was very honored. Of course, it's a huge deal.
Lovable and likable.
Yeah, so we know what I always think is interesting, especially because we're going to have a presidential election next year, is historically, in the modern era, the outgoing president would leave something or some type of note for the next president that's coming in. So if you had the opportunity to leave something in a desk or in an office for your successor, what would it be?
That's a really good question. I think being a president, being, governor, president, any of those high-ranking roles, it's a busy job.
Oh, yeah.
Sleepless nights. I think I would leave them a journal of some sort. A journal so that they can reflect, write down their thoughts, if there's any time to even sit down and reflect. But imagine leaving office and then kind of maybe wanting to look back on some of those memories or experiences or kind of where your headspace was.
Would you write something in the journal for them?
Time to get some sleep. Something like that. I don't know.
I think I would probably leave some type of note, which, sort of stick with the tradition, just sort of some inspiring words about like, this is a big job, you're going to do fine. Wishing you well on whatever's best for the country, state, whatever the situation is. But I think that would be very meaningful.
Love that encouragement.
Yeah, and then you could frame it or something.
Let us know in the comments. Would you run for office? And if so, what sorts of things would you do as an elected official?
And what would you leave your successor?
And what would you leave your successor?
An item, like a picture frame or, I don't know.
Sleeping
Thoughts
mask.
to ponder.
Eye mask. You could tell I like
to
get my sleep.
And maybe some like aromatherapy or something, like a little sleep basket.
A little self-care package. Here, Mr. President, or Miss President, Madame President.
Here's some
Self-care.
creams and, just to sort of have relaxation.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Love that.
Yeah, speaking of politics, something big happened with the King County Council this week.
They are wildly awesome for this, I think.
Crazy. Taylor Swift week.
It's Taylor Swift week in King County. Officially,
it's here. A couple days away.
And you know why? That's because Taylor Swift is bringing her 44-set-long Eras tour to the Emerald City this Saturday and Sunday at Lumen Field.
You talk about how many people are so excited about this concert.
She's had, a long career now. She's been doing this, 10, 15 years? And to have 44 hit songs and she's performing them all in one night.
Remarkable artist, remarkable businesswoman, just does amazing things. We know that part of the reason why she got that proclamation this week of it being Taylor Swift week is just the amount of money that this tour has made all across the country. Now it's stopping in Seattle, which is a pretty remarkable thing.
Nearly $4.6 billion. That is kind of the prediction from the U.S. Federal Reserve, how much she's expected to just bring to U.S. cities alone. That's not even counting other countries.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal.
Billions of dollars.
And that's going to impact our local revenue and economy here in Seattle. I talked to a couple of experts, and they said that they expect to see the biggest boost in the hospitality industry. Lots of people booking hotels. Taylor's not making stops in any other Pacific Northwest cities but Seattle. She's not going to Portland, Vancouver, Boise, nowhere in Montana. She's not going to Canada.
No.
A lot of Canadians upset about that, by the way.
But they will come down here.
They're all
they will
gonna
cross
be
the border.
coming here.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be wonderful for our city, our local businesses, our hotels, restaurants, retail shops, all of that.
Now, are you a Swiftie?
I don't consider myself a big Swiftie. I do like some of her songs,
Same.
We are never, ever, ever
It's beautiful.
getting back together. See, you know it. You don't know the song? No.
I kind of like Lavender Haze.
Oh, I do
Plus,
like
I
that
like
one
the
too.
music video. The little
Yes.
lavender hues in the video. I think it's cool.
Ooh, which reminds me, I talked to some reps from Visit Seattle, and they said that they've put in some requests to have some of our city's landmarks lit up in lavender. So you may see hues of lavender around our Seattle skyline.
I love that.
Which will be really cool.
Will you be going to the concerts this weekend?
I will not, and I'll tell you why. First off, these tickets, way too hard to find. Take a look at some of these comments on Facebook. Many still looking for tickets, obviously, after that whole Ticketmaster fiasco, and a lot of people couldn't get tickets. But lots of people just looking for tickets on Facebook. They say they know it's a long shot, but they're looking for 2 Taylor Swift tickets for any Seattle date, praying for a miracle. Someone else says, I'm looking to buy 2 tickets. I was just scammed on another Taylor Swift Facebook group, hoping to have these so I can go to the concert. And it's tough. These tickets are expensive, Steve.
I know.
The cheapest one I can find as of this morning on StubHub for the very, very back, the nosebleeds in Lumen Field, $1,500 was the lowest that I saw.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But people will pay it.
Love Swiftie. What's the most you've ever paid for a concert, do you know?
Not more than 300.
I think that's about the same for me.
Yeah, not more than 300.
Like Adele, I think when I went to her concert when she was here, it was like 2 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
I
for a
know, but
concert.
$1,500 for one?
It's the Eras tour. It's the Eras tour.
She puts on a good show, and I remember that tour that the stop that she did where she performed all in the rain for hours. I mean, hats off to you, girl.
Yeah, she's got to do it.
Good job,
Taylor
girl.
Swift. Good job.
Yeah, and we should note, she is officially now has more #1 albums than any other woman in history.
That's wild.
Isn't that wild?
She's beat out all the other greats. I mean, think
so
about
many
how many
greats.
great artists there are. Good job, Taylor Swift. She's young. She's getting it. She's got it going on.
And she keeps on going.
She keeps on going. All right. Another feel-good story of the week, Steve.
Yes.
I really like this one. Someone just made history. The oldest woman to summit Mount Rainier.
How old?
78. I have to double check. I don't want to say something wrong. New record holder, 78-year-old Rose Vanderhoof. She set the new record to summit Mount Rainier. She's now
amazing.
the oldest woman to have ever done that.
Amazing. And she actually surpassed her friend, Branka Sundstrom. 21 years ago is when she did the same thing at the age of 77. So she did it a year older, Rose did, at the age of 78.
Can you imagine? I can't even do that right now at 26. I'm like,
I think about
I can't even go on hikes.
I think about going to the parking lot at Paradise and just making the climb up the hill out of the parking lot is like, I'm sweating because it's such a steep incline, but she climbed the whole thing.
Well, good job, Rose. Her son actually sent these photos to our newsroom. Chris, thank you so much for sending these. You must be such a proud son just seeing your mother and all of her greatness. That's her in the red jacket there. So good job, Rose.
And I love some of these comments that we saw too. So Catherine is saying, congrats, Rose. You're an inspiration to so many of us. Keep on adventuring. Barry said this, so he's obviously another climber, said impressive. I thought I had done the same thing at age 56, so more than 20 years younger, hauling that 50-pound pack up the mountain. She's 77, 78.
And she did it all on her own. And then this comment, I really like this one from Diane Miller. She said, woohoo, congratulations, hashtag redefining aging. Because what really is aging anyway?
What
if you
is
could do
it?
that. I like that comment.
I like that comment too. I think that deserves an award.
Contemplating life.
We are contemplating life.
Let's give that comment an award.
What award should we give it this week?
Well, you know,
Let's go with this one.
Let's go with Sue Bird.
The GOAT, who retired after 20 plus years with the Seattle Storm. Diane, congrats to you. You're gonna get this week's Sound On Bobblehead Best Comment of the Week award.
Good job. Good job. Good job,
From Sue Bird
Diane.
to Diane.
Redefining aging.
That's right.
There you go. All right, Steve, aside from Taylor Swift, lots of other fun things happening this weekend.
Yes, there are, and there might be some events that I'm actually going to on our calendar to fulfill our wonderful weekend that's coming up. We got the West Seattle Grand Parade that's happening on the 22nd. It has occurred annually since 1935. I think it's safe to say before both of us were born. One of the oldest community events. There's going to be pirates, clowns, marching bands, pageantry.
That sounds like
Who
fun.
doesn't love a good pageantry?
Do you like clowns? No?
Not a fan. No.
They
I
are-
respect that, but
They are
no.
kind of silly, but.
They are. Yes. My mom loves clowns.
Oh, your mom likes
Yeah,
clowns.
she does. Yeah.
I never heard anyone say they like clowns, but that's clowns.
My mom does.
Your mom?
Yeah, she used to have a little collection as a kid.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. What else is going on?
Another from clowns to slugs.
Oh,
40th annual Slug Fest coming to Eatonville this weekend. This is July 22nd and July 23rd, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I didn't know that Washington had a Slug Fest, but now I am intrigued. Slugs. Why slugs? Slugs.
slimy slugs.
You know, looking to the site, it does look like this event is catered to the entire family, but specifically
Yeah.
toward kids. Lots of educational and fun activities happening for children. You can celebrate the state's slimiest slugs with human slug
Who
races,
doesn't love a good human slug race?
slug talks, slugs on display, and kids crafts. This is going to be at
Kids
this.
slug crafts.
This is going to be at the Northwest Track in Eatonville once again.
If you had to say one of your favorite scents, what would it be?
Not slugs.
Lavender, perhaps?
I like lavender.
Going back to the lavender haze from Swift's comment or
Yes,
Swift song.
that's so true.
The Lavender Festival in Sequim is happening this
Oh my
weekend.
God, no way. That sounds delightful.
I think I'm actually going to go to this.
Wow.
Yes, I've never been. It's mostly free. Farmers market at the Civic Center. There's a dance, street fair, vendors. It's going to take place at Carrie Blake Park in Sequim from the 21st through the 23rd.
Sounds like a blast.
And buy some lavender products.
Oh, candles, lavender oils, lavender bath soap. There's so much you can do with lavender.
Easy to relax.
Oh, that sounds fun. With Sequim, you can just get on the ferry, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Drive, or you
Yeah.
can drive all
Drive
the way.
around, yeah.
Well,
Or go on
whatever.
the ferry.
Whatever. Whatever works for you.
Whatever
Yeah,
floats your boat.
That sounds good.
That sounds like a good weekend.
Oh my God, such a great weekend. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 9 of Sound On. Remember, this is the show where we talk about what you're talking about online. So if you have a topic you want us to talk about, let us know in those comments.
Yeah, and send us a message on our social media channels or email us too.
Perfect. See you next week.
You see
All right.
me rolling.
They hate it, but